So welcome everybody to another episode of Chocolate Travels. My name is Joseph and I'm here with Maxime and Elfi from Qantu Chocolate. So really nice to have you guys. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
So the question we have is, how did it all start? So I saw on your website that it says it started with a flame. So how did everything transpire, and what sparked your interest in chocolate making?
Yeah, in fact, everything comes from our love story because we met in 2007 in Peru, and we moved to Canada in 2009. And
Okay.
Since we moved to Montreal, we were always trying to find a project that will keep us connected in between Canada and Peru.
Okay. So Elfi, you grew up in Peru, and Maxime, did you grow up in Quebec or in France?
Yes,
Okay.
not in Montreal, but like at 5 hours from here, but in province of Quebec. Yes.
Okay. So you guys you realized you wanted to live in Montreal and Quebec, and you needed to start a business. So why chocolate?
Yes, white chocolate because first we consider coffee,
Okay.
but coffee we think that the chocolate is more direct to the heart. It's more direct also to the palate. Sometimes when we buy coffee and we see the tasting notes, it's very subtle, the flavor. So, but in chocolate you taste the profile flavor. It's very direct. And also in 2014 we visited our first plantation, and we really fell in love with the farmers, with their energy, their passion for cacao.
Okay.
And it's where we learned that in Peru, there's a lot of cacao varieties. So we thought that it was all the same, but they explained that there's many varieties in Peru. And so we started to investigate to see what's available. And then we found out that there's many varieties, very interesting, like the white cacao from Piura, the Chuncho from the south, and many more. So
So Elfi, you're from Peru. Did you not really know much about cacao growing up?
No. When I live in Peru, I never taste chocolate before.
Wow.
Meet Maxime.
And what about the cacao trees? Did you ever see them or taste them?
Si.
As-tu déjà goûté du cacao avant?
De te rencontrer? No. I really discovered chocolate when I was 24 years old.
Okay.
And Maxime gave me a truffle, and it was, wow, what is that? because in Peru now it's better, but when I lived there, the chocolate for kids is only friandises, how do you say?
Candy
with flavor of chocolate.
Yeah.
That in Peru we are not very sweet.
Okay.
My family, my family is not very sweet. So for me, candies is not something important in my life. But when I know Maxime, all my life is changed.
Also, the price of the chocolate. When I met Elfi, I went to the supermarket once, and I saw that a bar of Lind was selling like $20, and here we can find for $3-4.
Wow.
So that's why people don't consume a lot of chocolate. It's very expensive, and also what you can find is very sweet.
Right.
In Peru, it's
interesting.
500 grams of consumption of chocolate per person per year. And I think in Canada, it's around 7-8 kilos. So it's a big difference.
I mean, we know that cacao growing regions don't usually consume a lot of chocolate, but Peru is such a wonderful place when it comes to cacao, and it's amazing that there's no culture there for chocolate, really. Interesting.
yes, but now it's different. For example, for me, Qantu helped me to rediscover my country.
Wow, that's
Uh,
amazing.
yes.
So what does Qantu mean?
Qantu is the national flower in Peru. The name in Spanish is cantuta.
Okay.
But
Cantuta.
in the mountains, in Quechua or in the mountains, people the people pronunciation is Qantu.
Mm.
And why we chose this name? Because this flower is native of Cusco from the south of Peru, and Maxime and I we met in Cusco. This is
Okay.
the source of our love.
It all comes together. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you know
Wonderful.
Peru. You
I've never been to Peru. No.
When you if one day you go to Peru, in Cusco, in the main square in Cusco, is the all is in the main square all is ¿cómo se dice decore? But decoration. But there are a lot in the main square in Cusco is you can find many cantus.
Okay.
Because it's the Inca's flower.
So it grows everywhere there.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. And so when did you guys decide we want to make chocolate? Because that's a big endeavor, you guys didn't grow, you don't have a culinary background, you didn't know much, so you learned about it, and right away it sounds like you wanted to start making it and selling it. So what made you decide to do that?
Thing is, it was in the back of our mind, the coffee project, the chocolate project. And in 2016, just before summer, Elfi's job was cut where she was working. So then we thought a bit and we said, okay, or Elfi find another job, or we start with our project. So we said, let's go all in and start with the projects. It was in end of May, I think, 2016.
Okay.
And right away, we started to look on internet, and we noticed that in July, there was a salon of chocolate in Lima, Peru. So Elfi called a few people in Peru. She got a place to the salon, and it started there. She went to the salon. She started to talk with farmers, with other makers, with people from Association of Cacao in Peru. She made a lot of contact, and it started like that.
Yes, and also because from the start of our relationship, our big dream was have a project together. Each one we have our profession, but from the start we
create something together.
Yes, it was our dream. Have something to put all our energy, all our values. This one and come to help us to realize our dream.
So how was it when you first started experimenting, making chocolate with the cacao beans that you brought from Peru? Were you right away, was this, wow, this is really good? Or did you have a lot of practicing to do to make it taste very good?
We started, I think in September 2016, the first test. We had a few kilos from Peru that we brought with us. Also, we bought a bag of cacao from Ecuador just to practice, because it was not the objective to work with the cacao from there. But since we wanted to practice the making of chocolate, so we bought a bag also. And yes, maybe the first couple of batch were not as we expected. We were learning how to roast, how to grind, and all those things. But yeah, it take maybe 2-3 months to be happy with the result.
That's pretty fast. 2-3 months, to learn a new skill and to do a good job.
Yes, but here we have a secret weapon. It's the Elfi's nose.
Ah.
It's she have an incredible
Sharp
presence.
nose.
Yeah, it's very sharp. So when we go and select our beans, she have the final word. She say that cacao is good, that cacao is bad. And now I'm better, but since the beginning, Elfi is really the one that detect all the nice cacao and the
So Elfi, you're very picky then. Are you
Yeah.
picky? Are you picky with food in general?
Yes.
Yeah?
I am
Okay.
picky, but I discover that I am picky, but maybe our big secret is because I am not. Comment ça se dit? J'ai pas un point de repère.
She don't have a kind of boundaries. She don't have childhood memories of chocolate.
Ah, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. No expectations. So
No. Because I don't like the classic chocolate.
Okay.
The chocolate from the ¿cómo se dice? Industrial chocolate, industrial ça se dit?
Yeah.
I don't like. I don't know until now. I don't know what is the small piece, the component that I am not able to eat. It's como,
That's interesting because when I was growing up, I didn't like chocolate too much, especially dark chocolate, because I found the flavor, I don't know, kind of boring. I didn't like it so much. So that's interesting that you felt the same way. That classic flavor that a lot of people like, you didn't like it too much.
Exactly. Same for me. So in my case, it's when I smell cacao beans, I am a special sensibility. Come on, it is like passion fruit, like roses, and this is the flavor that we preserve when we are making chocolate.
Does it help that you're Peruvian to work with the farmers? You know, is there more trust there maybe because you're originally from Peru? Is it easier to work with them?
Yes, I can say yes because Elfi, she know very well the culture of Peru.
Right.
So when you meet with the farmers, the contact is direct. Elfi, she know a lot of regions. She know a lot, all the language, all the expressions, all the type of dancing, all the food. So when we go there, she can create a connection like in 2 minutes. Everybody laugh, everybody have fun, and they become friends in one day. And when you're a foreigner, it's not so easy to create a connection. They kind of shy. Sometimes
because you don't understand each other yet. It takes time, right?
yes,
With different
exactly.
cultures. So
yes, and when you don't speak also the language, so a lot of makers from other countries, if they come, they speak only English, maybe a couple of words of Spanish, so it's difficult. But yes, Elfi have a special talent to create connection really very easily. Yes.
So I think it's wonderful that you focus just on Peru because a lot of over the years people get the idea that, you know, Peru bean to bar tastes like this, Ecuador, Peru bean to bar tastes like this, Venezuela, but it's not like that. It's if within Peru, within each region, there's so many different flavors of cacao. So it's really nice that you get to highlight that. But what was your decision? Why did you decide to focus just on Peru and not do different origins, Madagascar, Ecuador, whatever?
Well, first, because our art belong in Peru. When we go there, we really feel good. It's like going to the family always. And also, at the very beginning, we were thinking maybe going in other countries in South America. But we found out that there's so many varieties in Peru that it's not needed to do that. Now we have 8, and we can add 5 or 10 tomorrow, and
That's amazing.
all have different profile. Also, it eases a lot the logistics because it allows us to visit all our cooperative, to buy directly from them. Then we group together all our purchase. and we ship a container to Montreal. So if we work with 7 countries, it's not possible to do that. You have to ship. Usually, you work with brokers when you work with multiple countries like that, or you have a lot of money and a lot of time to go in 6, 7 countries and to manage logistics. So it's a lot easier, and it's a lot. It make more sense for us to work only with Peru.
Yeah. And you don't need it. You have so much. That's what's so amazing about what your company does specifically, is that you open the minds of a lot of people in the craft chocolate world that, wow, you know, like there's so many kinds of flavors in Peru. You know, there's not just fruity, there's many kinds of fruity, and there's nutty, and there's so many different things. And then the hidden treasure, which is, whoa, what is this? Totally different. What I was always curious though, the design on your bar, it looks like a little house. What is that? Why? How did you come to that? Why did you decide that?
This is a classic house in Montreal.
Okay, the narrow tall house.
Maison de Trois.
Yes, like the house that are all stick together.
Yeah,
and it's 2 or 3 floors. It's really classic from the Plateau Mont Royal here in the center of the city. So it's also a kind of our dream of the house of Qantu, no?
La Maison Qantu.
La Maison Qantu. So so we find it very cute.
No, it's nice because the cacao and the chocolate is Peru, and then the design is Montreal, so it ties the two together. That's really nice.
Yes.
When you were starting to make chocolate, what was the reception of the people? Who, you know, did you start selling it at the farmers market, and did customers in Montreal, you know, because I know in Europe people can be very traditional with their flavors, you know. So now your bar is very different. The Motopan, the Grand Blanco, very different flavors. So did people in Montreal think, wow, this is really good, or this is very different, I don't know if I like it? What did they think?
Yes, first we tested just before starting the company in a Christmas market. And yes, it worked well, and we made a tasting at home with like 20-25 people to have an idea and to compare with other bean to bar, with some other industrial chocolate, to see at least if we're on the top or not. And then we started in 2017 very slowly. But when we started the same month on January, we shipped a couple of samples to the Academy of Chocolate Awards. And in May, we received it was the only goal was to get some feedback on our bars.
Yeah.
We were not expecting nothing, no medals, I think, at all. And then in May, we learned that we won 2 gold medals and 1 silver. So it really boosted we started to get orders from UK, from France, from US, from many places in Canada. So our awards, give us some light,
confidence.
Yes,
confidence.
That's amazing, because I remember when I started seeing your chocolate, it's like you came out of nowhere, just appeared, and all of a sudden you're already getting awards. And I taste the chocolate. Usually some makers, when they're new, the bar is, you know, like, oh, they're on the right track, you know, maybe it takes a few more years to fine tune it, but like right away you guys were making really good chocolate. So you guys must have some sort of talent for chocolate, you know, that you didn't realize you had.
Yeah, again, it's the secret weapon we have.
That nose. Take good care of your nose. Excellent. Wonderful. So how has your close ties with the growers in Peru, how has that shaped your business, the way you look at chocolate, the way you make chocolate, the way you think about chocolate? We'll talk about the hidden treasure bar soon, but you know, even that one, you kind of said that it's very expensive to make the chocolate. Maybe it's not even worth it, but you love that cacao and you wanted to use it. So how does being in Peru, working with the farmers, shape everything you do? What would you say?
It's the most important part of our work. I think everything starts in Peru. So we have to know the farmers first. We have to know if they are passionate or not. How do they work? That they take a lot of care. I mean, like processing their cacao with the fermentation, with the drying, with the most of all our farmers, they are kind of cacao collectors. They have many varieties. When we talk about their cacao, their eyes are shining. So it's really what make us.
It's the main thing in our business, because only buy beans and make chocolate is not very interesting for us. For us, the heart of our business is go to Peru, have a lot of more than fun, but share with people there. Have a mission there, promote the biodiversity of cacao. This is why we make chocolate. Here is very repetitive,
right?
But yes,
it gives you a lot of purpose.
The main motivation is work directly with farmers. Yes,
good.
Yes, and also when we work with them closely, we have access to special cacao. Sometimes we go and because sometimes the farmers, they know that they have maybe 100 kilo of special varieties, but nobody cares, so they just mix it with the other cacao that they have. So when they see that we are very interested in all those tiny micro lots, when we arrive, they say, "Oh, I have that cacao, and just for you, I keep it on the side. You can taste, and you can tell me if it's good." And then sometimes we taste, we say, "Wow, and that's a treasure. We have to do something with this." So yes, it's very we really have access to special cacao, because as we said, there's many varieties in Peru, but sometimes they are mixed all together. Because there's not enough demand of nano lots and micro lots.
Right. Even if other chocolate makers are buying cacao from Peru, like you said, it's a blend of probably many different types of cacao. So, and that's really what fine chocolate is all about, is finding those really nice varietals of cacao, sub-varietals, heirlooms, and preserving them and using them for incredible chocolate. You know, that's really what the essence of fine chocolate is. So it's really nice to hear that you get to do that. And it's also nice to hear the farmers are excited to show you too, you know? That's really nice.
Yes. And also they are very happy to see the result. When we win medals, they also have good effects of that.
So that was my question. Do they taste the chocolate you make with their cacao?
Yes, every time we go, we bring chocolate. Like twice we were in the farm. Meanwhile, we learned the result of the Academy of Chocolate Award. And on both times, we won medal with the cacao of that cooperative where we were. And so when we told them, everybody is happy. Some people cry.
Don Maximo.
Yeah, last time we won silver with Don Maximo bar. And he started to cry. Was super happy. He was super creative. So for us,
it's amazing.
It's the reason why we do that.
Because a lot of these farmers, you know, they grow a beautiful cacao. Maybe they believe it's beautiful, but it's nice when you hear other people finally appreciate it, you know?
Yes, exactly. If they cannot, it's not all the farmers that make chocolate, so they can grow the best cacao in the world, but if nobody is interested or nobody's aware, then they lose interest, and they can, or they just leave it there, or they cut and they plant other trees. So when we get a lot of interest in their cacao, they get more motivation to continue and to give the best of them to have the best cacao.
And so, Elfi, what do your friends and relatives in Peru and other people, what do they think about the chocolate you're making? Are they like you, where they're very open to these different flavors? Or is it too different for them? What do they think?
Qu'est-ce qu'ils pensent les gens au Pérou?
Ouais, tes amis, tout ça. Puis
Mes amis.
t'aimes au chocolat.
My friends, my friends in the jungle, my friends who are a farmer are very proud of us. It's incroyable. But my friends in Lima, some people don't understand why I make chocolate because I am engineer. And in Lima is a little bit, the mind is different, like like here. But yes, my teachers from the university are very proud of me. Always ask my mother to have a little bit of my chocolate.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And does your mother like it too?
Yes, my mother like.
Which one is her favorite?
My mother, the ¿cómo se llama? Morropon and maple.
Okay.
My father like Gran Blanco and Chasca.
Okay.
And, yes.
And Maxime, what about you? Does your family, because your family is from Quebec, so they grew up more on traditional chocolate. What did they think when they started trying your crazy Qantu chocolate, crazy flavors?
Yes, my mom, I really thought that she will not like at all because she eat a lot of chocolate, but very sweet. So when I brought her some dark chocolate, I said, no, she will just say, what is this? I don't want to eat. And yes, I was really glad, like the Moroccan, she really liked the Moroccan a lot. So now every time I go, I bring a bit of chocolate with me. And yes, my sister, my brother-in-law, the same. They are very proud of what we do. They really like. They come many times a year here at the shop. When we go to visit them, we always bring also. And yes, they talk to all their friends about us. They even organize sometimes group of friends to come here to the factory. So
wow.
He organized the ¿cómo se llama? Como acheter-à-l'eau.
Yes, he also organized like bulk buying. So he buy a lot of friends to
give to his friends. Everyone.
Yes. So they make a group to buy Qantu chocolate.
Very nice. Now, what can you tell us about the hidden treasure bar? So, I've been in fine chocolate for almost 15 years now, and I've seen bars that are expensive, $20 a bar, $25 a bar, $30 a bar. And to be honest, I understand why they're expensive, but I can find the same incredible flavor in bars that are $10, $12, $14 as well. So, but the hidden treasure for me, very, very different. So for people who haven't purchased it yet, why is it so expensive, and what is so special about the hidden treasure cacao?
It's a cacao that is very rare. It's available in very limited quantity. We know only one farmer that have that variety. Also, you have very limited quantity, so we can buy around 30 kilo per year. And also, the farmer didn't want it to sell because he's propagating his variety to get a bit more production.
Okay.
The first time we meet with him a few years ago, we said, "Can we buy a bit?" And he said, "No, I don't sell." So we had to increase the price, insist, and then he said, "Okay, I will sell you 30 kilo." Yes.
Wow.
So then very happy, and but you have maximum 200-300 kilo per year.
Wow.
And also you make some chocolate for the Peruvian market. So that's why you don't want it to sell. but we are friends and we can buy a 30 kilo per year. And also we pay the price around 5 times more expensive than our other cacao. So let's say like the market price is $2, we pay usually around 6-7 US for cacao, and that one we pay around 30.
Wow.
So it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
And also when we make it, since the structure it's a bit different, so when we want to winnow, remove the shell, we lose a lot of cacao, a lot more cacao. Usually we keep 75-78% of cacao, and that one we keep around 50.
Wow.
So you lost a lot more. So that's why the bar is more expensive.
It's very, when you open, because you guys gave me some sample, when you crack open the cocoa bean, it's almost like there's air inside. It's just poof, it just falls apart. Very, very light.
Exactly.
So,
like sand.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, so that's why it's more expensive. It's for the product, all our costs.
But why? So it is expensive. We know why, because the farmer, he grows a little amount, and also because to winnow it is a lot of work. So why did you decide to still use it? Why do you have to use it?
Because it's so different. It's so particular, and nobody have that cacao. We feel very unique to have the opportunity to work with such a cacao.
Do you guys know anything about which variety family it's related to, or is that a secret?
Yeah, it's a secret. Maybe one day if they have a lot of production and they sell to many makers, we'll give more detail. But recently we got a lot of interest. Other maker they ask, where do you buy the cacao? Where do you buy? And you see the name, it says Eden Treasure. So
just one more.
Yes, if we say where tomorrow there's a lineup of makers and then we'll have no more. So that's why when it's very rare like that, we prefer to keep a certain secret.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. It's an incredible bar. The texture, the flavor. I use it in my tastings here to surprise people, and it's an 80% as well. And it's like a milk chocolate gianduja almost, it's incredible. It's crazy. And it's exciting too, because you guys came across this cacao, which is so unique. The farmer is very sort of, protective of it. Maybe there's many others, very interesting cacao out there, that we don't even know yet. Who knows?
Exactly. That's why every time we go, we ask every farmer that we meet, do you have any special cacao? Have you seen any special pod with a different shape, different texture? So we always ask, do you have any cacao that you think it's rare? And sometimes they show us different things. Sometimes it's in too low quantity to buy if they have like a couple of pods only. But sometimes we see pods and we say, okay, that one you plant more in 3 years we want to buy. So everything that is rare, everything that is different, everything that is tastes very good, we go all in, and we always give the motivation to the farmer to continue and to keep those special products apart from the other cacao.
Yeah. So that's great. It sounds like you guys are really taking craft chocolate to a deeper level. It's not just, because when I started in fine chocolate, it was, the European brands, Bonnet, Michel Couzel, Amadei, things like that. And they had their origins, Ecuador, Madagascar. But makers like you guys, now you're taking it to like micro level, discovering new varieties, creating flavors that people can't even imagine. So it's really exciting to see that kind of work.
Yes. It's really a motivation for us to have something different. We just don't want to use because in Peru there's 3-4 cacao that are very popular, and we see many makers using those cacao. And for us, there's no point to make the same thing as the others. So we will really try to find the special rare cacao, and every time we have we buy, like we have the 100% Demetrio Wacre that have a new bar since last year. So when we find that cacao, because it's kind of a chuncho. So the chuncho is mean wild in Quechua language, and but the chuncho is a natural mix of 6-7 varieties. So if you go in the forest, you look one tree and you look the other, the pod will look different. It's a natural mix of 6-7 varieties, but when they harvest everything.
Right.
So in the case of that Demetrio Wacre, is just one variety, so one huge that they took some seeds and they planted other tree from that one. So right now that farmer have only around 250 kilo per year from those few trees, and we buy the entire production. It was different. It doesn't taste at all like the chuncho.
Did you taste?
Yes. Yeah, it's a beautiful, the 100% one, yes.
Yes, so we made some tests, and 70% we said no, it lose too much personality to taste. So that one, let's do 100%, and it reminds a bit the hidden treasure with a bit of acidity. So.
Yeah, it's hard to do 100% bars. It's even if you're using really nice cacao, bringing it to 100% is very challenging. So to do that is, with the cacao that you have, his cacao there, is amazing. It's very unique, and it just shows that there's so much we don't understand yet about cacao. There's so many varietals out there that can produce cacao where you don't even need to add sugar. It's beautiful on its own, like an espresso. So it's really, really nice.
Yes, it's true.
What are the greatest challenges for you guys today, making chocolate your business now? What are things that you find frustrating or challenging today?
Wow. About, for example, diversify products, but because we love the 70%, the pure origins.
Yeah.
So create a new chocolate, for example, Palo Santo, but Palo Santo was very amazing. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult because we need ¿cómo se dice? Una persona plus de imaginación.
Yeah, sometimes we block because we need more imagination. We just don't want to copy another maker's product, so we try to bring up some new things. Sometimes because we have to manage the company and we are very busy, so dedicate time to do new products and have bright ideas is not so easy. So it's one of the
that's a tough one, because you guys do an impeccable job with the line of bars you have, and I like when I see, whether it's chocolate making or bread or cheese, whatever, to be consistent, to always keep up with that really good product. Nowadays, because of Instagram and things, a lot of consumers, they always want something new. And it's a bit sad sometimes, especially for me, because it's like, well, if you found the Morpon bar or the maple bar and you love it, keep enjoying that. Why do you always have to have something new? Because it puts extra stress on the makers. And sometimes, not saying you, but some makers, they put product out just to have something new, even though it's not always that amazing, right?
Exactly. We are very picky on that. If we are not satisfied, if we say, that bar have that flavor and it's not tasting like this, we don't release the bar. And yes, sometimes we buy a couple of bars and at the end we're not satisfied of what we bought. So we are very picky. We want the flavor to be direct, to be what we market. So we don't want to lie and want people to say, yes, it's the best bar of that flavor I tasted in my life.
Right. You
We
want to
are-
be proud of it too.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. If we don't like, we don't release.
Mhm.
You guys have a lot of heart. That's nice.
For
And-
example, now we are in love with this fruit. I don't know if you know argusier.
Sea buckthorn.
You know?
I've had it. Yeah. I think a
Yeah.
lot of Russians
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. I worked at a pastry shop and the chef was Russian, and so she used to buy those too. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
With
Where
the-
did yours come from? Where was it grown? Do you know?
Here in Quebec, there's
Oh,
a
okay.
farm that grew sea buckthorn.
Ah, so that's maybe gonna be an idea, maybe.
Ears are turning.
Yeah.
For Mother's Day, we made a chocolate with caramel of this.
Yeah, yeah.
And people love this. It's like a passion fruit from the north.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice. What do you think about the bean to bar chocolate scene in Canada? Do you think that it's something that, are there some challenges you see? Do you see it growing? Do you think it's not growing fast enough?
Yes, I think it's since we started, it increased dramatically because when we started, people we were saying bean to bar to some people, and what are you talking about? And now a lot of people come here, and or when we make them, we see them in different place, and yes, we know bean to bar, we know different brands, and like your chocolate. So yes, it developed a lot. But there's more place to do more progress. A lot, still, many people don't know bean to bar. They don't know the difference. Sometimes people say, yes, it's expensive, but it's rare. Usually, people understand, and when they don't understand, they come to on the tour that we do on Saturday. And after that, they say, "Wow, it's very cheap. Would pay more for that."
That's
So
nice to hear.
you know the work and all the steps and all the work we do in Peru.
Yeah.
Yes, you see the value of the product, and when you taste, you see, wow, it's nothing to do with the supermarket chocolate.
Mm.
Oh, yes.
Do you guys ever personally, do you like to pair chocolate with anything? Do you have any favorite pairings you like to put your chocolate with?
With tea. For me, it's
You too? I love tea and chocolate.
I love tea.
Nice.
I
What
love
kind
tea.
of tea?
The sencha oolong.
Mm.
Few months ago, we sold the Japanese tea. Do you remember?
Yes, for Christmas, we made kind of a small pop-up here at the store. So we sold a couple of other products in chocolate, and we sold Japanese tea.
Okay.
A friend here, she's here in Montreal, and her family is in Japan, and they make tea since many years ago.
Yeah.
She represents her tea here in Montreal, and it's very good tea.
Wow, yes. There is a mecha. What is the
Matcha, yes.
Mecha? No, no matcha, no matcha.
Oh, okay.
Mecha.
Oh, okay.
Como c'est la tige de thé. C'est quoi la tige?
It's the tip. It's not the.
It's not the
Oh,
leaf.
it's the bud. The bud.
Yeah, the bud. The leaf grow on the branch. You can see when a small branch. So it's what they use to make that tea.
Oh, okay.
It's very floral. Very,
Oh.
very floral. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
there are around all is green tea, but around 5 types. Fukamuchi, mecha, the other one, ukicha. I don't remember all the names. All were amazing. Yes.
Yeah. The tea, the heat from the tea, it allows the chocolate to melt beautifully, like it just works, and the flavor is balanced. It's not overpowering. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. For example, when people like coffee and chocolate is not a good match.
Right. The coffee usually is too strong.
Yeah, the coffee and chocolate both are strong.
It's too strong product,
strong.
and they fight to be the star in the tasting.
Right, right.
And also, I don't know if the vin fortifié, c'est quoi?
Fortified wine.
Fortified wine. This is very nice.
It is.
Gran Blanco.
I could see that. And Maxime, what about you? What do you like to combine with your chocolate?
I like maybe more with alcohol, like wine. Gran Blanco with white wine goes very well.
Mm.
So some like whiskey, like alcohol, a little slightly smoky.
Okay.
Sometimes it goes very well.
No Montreal cheese? No Quebec cheese?
We haven't tried too much with cheese,
No?
but
Okay.
I think it can pair well with some.
Maybe the maple or the goat milk.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I can't imagine morropon with cheese.
Love to try. Any future plans for Qantu? Are you, do you have any ideas or things you want to share?
Always trying to find new varieties, to find the idea that would be unique. So every time we go, we always have that in mind. What else?
Now we start to work more with restaurants. So restaurant.
Yeah. A lot of makers are starting to do that. It's sort of an untapped area. And
also the restaurants, the good restaurants start to know that good chocolate exists. So you don't have to buy Barry Callebo or stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's here we work with like 5, 6 of the top Montreal restaurants, like including Mousseau, that is the best. It's in the top in Canada. Also Foxy, Hélicoptère, Parcelle, Ratafia. We have a few restaurants or pastry shop that work with us, and it's all high end, so they see a value in our product. So it's a good match.
It's interesting because I come from sort of a chocolatier background, and I worked with chocolatiers and pastry chefs, and they don't really get fine chocolate yet. It's very new. I feel like consumers understand it more than a lot of the chefs for some reason.
Yeah. For the chef, maybe are a bit behind on that. They are not aware. Maybe I don't know if education, or maybe sometimes it's cost also, because when you put the restaurants, your margin can be small.
Yeah.
So will you add a chocolate that is like 2, 3, 4 times the price than what you buy right now?
Right.
Sometimes it's a deal breaker for them. But I think more and more chef and more pastry chef are interested in that.
Yeah, wonderful. So what is the best way for people to contact Qantu to order your chocolate? Where do you ship? How can they go about?
We have our online store. We ship in all Canada and also even in the US.
Okay.
Also here we have a little store in Montreal. And I think across Canada, we have around nearly 100 resellers. We're also in the US, we are in Europe, we are in China, in Japan.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yes, Qantu is available in many places in the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent. And you said you do tours and tastings too at your location?
Yes, on every Saturday.
Okay.
Tour, factory visit, and also we finish with a tasting. And we are working right now to develop other events, so maybe pairing with alcohol, with teas, any other stuff like that could be relevant. So we're trying to define a nice offer for it.
Very nice. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you both.
Joseph.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
All the best and take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Download the free Bean to Bar app to connect with incredible chocolate makers from around the world. Also be sure to visit beantobarworld.com, your portal for all things fine chocolate, virtual tastings, free learning resources, research, and much more. Subscribe to the newsletter to stay in touch and donate to the free app and free resources here. Contact me for any chocolate-related questions you may have.